Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily News. I'm Nicholas Richardson. Donald Trump is fighting for the votes of Polish-American community. On Sunday, a video surfaced online in which Trump talks about Poland and Poles. Many warm words were spoken. The occasion for his address to the Polish-American community was the Kazimierz Puławski Day, celebrating the hero of the struggle for independence of the United States and of Poland. The holiday falls on the 11th of October, but the first celebrations took place yesterday. Just how important are Polish-American votes in the American presidential election?
The Great Puławski Parade through the streets of New York is behind us. On this occasion, Donald Trump expressed his wishes to the Polish people. As many as nearly 10 million people declare Polish origin in the United States. They may vote. How important are their votes in the presidential election? Today, I'm looking more closely at the situation.
But we love Poland, we love the Polish people, and there's nobody better. They're great, they're strong, they're smart.
Puławski Day is a holiday commemorating General Kazimierz Puławski, a Polish hero of the American War of Independence. Donald Trump has regularly used similar occasions to highlight the importance of the Polish-American relations. This is really an extremely important electorate for every single candidate. We see the gestures of Donald Trump, which we also saw in the last campaign in 2016, which were very clear. Mobilizing Polish voters is important in key states like Pennsylvania. There are people there who are wildly conservative. Usually the candidate who represents the conservative wing wins. Nearly 10 million Poles and people of Polish descent are a significant bloc of voters in the United States. Donald Trump invokes common values and historical ties between our countries. I was proud to enjoy the support of Polish Americans in the 2016 election. This is what Donald Trump said as president during his visit to Poland. In April this year, Polish President Andrzej Duda visited Donald Trump as a candidate to be the United States president.
Jak wiecie, ten pan wykonuje fantastyczną robotę. Ludzie w Polsce go kochają.
And the result of the cooperation was, for example, the abolition of the US entry visa requirement for Poles in 2019. That's why the Polish vote is so important in the United States presidential election.
They call themselves Democrats, but they are increasingly and willingly turning to methods straight out of totalitarian systems. In a recent interview with CNN, former Secretary of State and former First Lady of the United States Hillary Clinton demanded censorship of information on social networks. She argues that changing the laws on the matter is necessary to protect people from disinformation and hate speech, or even alleged disinformation. In 2021, the Twitter account of United States President at the time, Donald Trump, was blocked. It was only unblocked by the new owner of the platform, Elon Musk. He himself later revealed that censorship of content on his portal was demanded by the European Commission.
Censorship, the control of public communication of information, a characteristic feature of all totalitarian regimes. Now it is demanded by Democrat Hillary Clinton.
If the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm.
Clinton made her comments in reference to the changes in cyberspace, especially after the takeover of Twitter, currently known as X, by Elon Musk in 2022. The billionaire immediately announced that on his portal there will be no censorship. One of the first decisions he made was to unblock Donald Trump's account, which stopped working after accusations of allegedly spreading fake news. And it was at a time, remember, when he was still in office as president that this censorship was used against Donald Trump. As a result, those who control social media would like to control who can and cannot be the president of the United States. In July, Elon Musk revealed that he had also been pressurized by the European Commission to agree to censor some content. The European Commission offered X an illegal secret deal. If we quietly censored speech without telling anyone, they would not fine us. The other platforms accepted that deal. Because, according to Hillary Clinton, with the freedom to publish content on X, there is the danger of spreading false or unverified information, or even to put it bluntly, disinformation. Following this line of reasoning, it is better to avoid this freedom after all.
To jest niebezpieczne, to po prostu bardzo łatwo przy tych...
This is dangerous. It is very easy with these current means of technology to bring about such totalitarianism. That is, we call disinformation anything that does not suit those in power. Elon Musk defends freedom of speech, but owners of other portals succumb to political pressure. In August, Facebook owner Mark Zuckerberg issued a statement admitting that President Joe Biden's administration had demanded censorship of content related to the COVID-19 pandemic, including satirical content. I think the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we didn't talk about it more openly. I felt strongly that we shouldn't change our content standards because of pressure from any administration, from any side, and we are ready to oppose if something like this happens again. Censorship is also a weapon of some politicians in Poland. In September, international journalism organizations stood up to defend Republika. In their view, the obstruction of our journalists by the Donald Tusk administration is a direct threat to freedom of speech, one of the foundations of democracy.
Pressure on the Polish-Belarusian border continues, and Russian troops continue to push against Ukrainian forces. For several years, the spectre of war has once again loomed over Europe. Meanwhile, some Polish armoured forces are being withdrawn from the east to the German border. Former Defence Minister Mariusz Błaszczak has demanded an explanation and questions whether the concept of defending Poland along the Vistula line has returned.
Leopard 2A5 tanks that are on the equipment of the Polish army have gone under the western border. This surprising information was provided by the former Polish Minister of National Defense, Mariusz Błaszczak. Everything indicates that Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz has lost the remnants of independence in the ministry, succumbed to retired generals, and decided to permanently move Leopard tanks from the east of Poland to Żagań. Could it be that the concept of defending Poland on the Vistula line is returning? The head of the Polish Defense Ministry himself confirmed the news of the Leopard's relocation. As he explains, the German-made tanks require maintenance work. All actions that are being taken are the result of recommendations from the military, in this case from the Chief of the General Staff. Moving significant armored forces to Żagań, more than 1,500 kilometers from our eastern border, beyond which there is a war going on, is questionable. Law and Justice demands from Deputy Prime Minister Kosiniak-Kamysz detailed explanations. On the basis of what document and drawn up by whom was the decision made to move Leopard 2A5 tanks to Żagań? What was the justification for making such a decision? In particular, why, despite the ongoing war in Ukraine and the associated threat on the Polish eastern flank, was it decided to strengthen the military unit located in the west at the expense of strengthening the units located in the east? Were the assumptions of the decision to transfer tanks taken into account in the current planning and programming documents for the development of the Polish armed forces? The opposition accuses those in power of slowing down the pace of strengthening the Polish army. The best example is the stalled negotiations with the Koreans on the production of K2 tanks in Poland. Where is the contract for the production of K2 tanks in Poland? I haven't heard anything today about the fact that our goal is to acquire 1,000 K2 tanks, not only 180. So they are reducing the number of weapons they intend to acquire. And what about the contract for 500 HIMARS launchers for the Polish military? Silence. Silence also surrounds the contract for new Borsuk infantry vehicles, Korean K9 self-propelled howitzers, or FA-50 aircraft. In addition, promoted in the spring by the ruling coalition, the Shield East project still exists but on paper. All this brings to mind the old way of conducting security policy by the civic platform PSL government, which assumed the defense of Poland along the Vistula line. At the moment, we are seeing some movements, some shifts, which from a strategic point of view, it is hard to see as actions that are supposed to inspire such a sense of security in Polish society. The plan to defend Poland along the Vistula River line sparked a heated political dispute because it involved handing over eastern Poland to Russia, revealed by Mariusz Błaszczak, who was the Polish defense minister at the time.
Americans are counting down the days to the elections, and candidates are heading to the swing states where the battle for victory will play out. Donald Trump visited voters in Wisconsin, while Kamala Harris visited Michigan. America is divided and torn between two radically different versions of the country.
Donald Trump is not slowing down at the finish line of the campaign. On Saturday, Trump returned to Butler, Pennsylvania to finish a speech interrupted 3 months earlier by an assassin. He was in Wisconsin last night to remind the people of that state that what's at stake in the election is getting the economy back on track and, above all, the safety of Americans.
But she threw open our border, destroyed the middle class, and now as our citizens are suffering from catastrophic hurricane, I mean, this hurricane has been a bad one. Kamala Harris has left them stranded. This is the worst response to a storm or a catastrophe or a hurricane.
Trump's rival, Democrat Kamala Harris, sought support in the state of Michigan, where traditionally, in addition to abortion and women's rights, she promised to work hard.
We have some hard work ahead, but here's the thing about us, we like hard work. We like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is good work. And with your help in November, we will win.
The victory will be decided in 7 so-called swing states, where most voters have so far not decided who to vote for. They include Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. These are the 7 key states that both candidates' campaigns are focusing on.
I want a president who's going to tell the truth, work together to solve problems.
Donald Trump and Kamala Harris talk about 2 different visions for America. The first is a kind of Reagan vision that Donald Trump is pushing in some form. This is a return to such a myth of a great America. This is in contrast to an America that focuses on women's rights, interpreted as the right to have abortions. Today, it is impossible to indicate which way the electoral scale will tip, and Americans have less and less time to make up their minds, as the election is on the 5th of November.
That's the news. Thank you for watching, and from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.